You're probably communicating like an asshole. I'm blunt. I'm direct. I don't beat around the bush. Yeah, I don't have time for nuances or niceties or pleasantries. You know what that means? Is you're probably communicating like an asshole. Maybe that's not your intention. Maybe it's a sense of bravado. Maybe it's a power move, some sort of flex. But that's not getting you the results that you want, I suspect. Maybe the answers you want. But from a leadership perspective, creating a connection with somebody, there's a lot of nuance to it. And when I hear somebody saying, I'm blunt, that tells me that individual lacks the emotional intelligence, the verbal ability, the verbal agility, or the empathy or consideration or respect for another person. And I don't get it. And it's like a badge of honor. You look at the quote unquote best leaders in the world, in history, one of the things that you'll find is their ability to connect with other people. You have to connect with other people so they can see your vision, so that they can help you and you can support them. You can communicate directly with respect. You can communicate directly without using inflammatory language. It's such a barrier when people say, that's just how I am. But if you're communicating like a dick, guess what? You're not going to be getting the results that you really could, because folks will listen for sure. And therein lies the trap, right? Because you communicate like that and people respond and they will comply. I don't think they'll commit. I've coached thousands of leaders. And I can tell you that the common thread, as I said, is the ability to communicate, but connect. And how do you connect? You build trust. How do you build trust? You communicate. How do you communicate? Thoughtfully, with nuance, with compassion, with empathy, thinking about the other person, and really figuring out what resonates with them so that they can buy into your vision. Leadership is social influence. That's what it is. Leadership is no longer necessarily the strongest person in the group, right? The hunter. I'm going to go out and I'm going to hunt and I'm going to find stuff. Therefore, I'm the alpha. No, that's Fred Flintstone calls. That's old school. That's an old school approach when we're talking about it, the application in the workplace. Now, if I crash in the wilderness, I've got lots of years of search and rescue background. I get that whole scenario. Yeah, you know what? The person that's able to do the most and help the most folks physically and look after their survival needs, the Maslow's hierarchy needs. Yeah, they're probably gonna be the alpha, at least from an influence perspective. But in a workplace, we don't have to go hunt in the same way. So when you're saying that I'm direct, I'm blunt, all of those things, it just means that you haven't taken the time to learn how to communicate even more effectively. That shit doesn't fly in today's workplaces. So you know what's going to happen is behind your back, people are going to be talking about you. And in front of you, yeah, you're going to get that compliance, but folks are going to be stressed out and worried about effing up. And then you'll say, then they shouldn't be around me. Then you're going to be surrounded by folks exactly like you. And I would submit to you, that's the worst thing you can do. Diversity is strength. Diversity in thought, opinions, viewpoint, like approaches, the ability to red team. So look at a plan objectively and take shots at it, put holes in it. Groupthink will start to happen. And you're going to be like, see, these are my people. This is how we communicate. Radical transparency and candor and all of that doesn't mean disrespect. So if you find yourself saying, I'm blunt and people are too soft and they can't take it, here to tell you my lived experience, having been exposed to thousands of leaders, I'm a leader myself. That's not what it looks like. It's going to get you results, sure, but it's going to create compliance, not commitment. I think you want a workplace, you want your team to be committed to you and loyal to you and listening to you and connected to you because they want to be there, not because they have to be.